start to talk about any of these stone buildings that you see up here, I just want to give you a brief overview of the history of the site. Okay? So the town is called Cashel, as you probably know, and the word Cashel, it originally comes from a Latin word, castellum, which means a fort or a fortress.
This chapel has the oldest frescoes in Ireland. It was a beautiful Catholic chapel. The blue color used was as valued as gold. Beautiful Catholic imagery here. And when the Protestants came, they painted over it all to turn it into a Protestant church. From beauty to ugliness and barrenness. It's very too bad.
It was here on the rock of Cashel that St. Patrick taught the king about the Trinity using the clover, which is what I picked right here while I was on top of the mountain. This was one of the clovers he used.
Here nearly 20 years. I spent a lot of my life in the southern hemisphere, in Australia. And I came back and I was in.
Okay, we're here in Kilkenny. It's a very nice hotel, and we are having dinner. I know people think with the videos that all we do is eat on these trips, but who? Andy Williams. Good country singer.
Yeah, he wasn't a country singer. He sang Ave Maria.
So here we are, ready for dinner.
And tonight, make sure you come back to watch this video for part 3, actually, of today, because Bat Burns is going to be doing his Whisperings of Ireland, where we actually hear his ancient stories that his grandfather, the Shawnaclee, told him. And we're going to hear those stories, and I'm especially excited to hear the story called My First Confession. It's about a little boy who, I think he's 7 years old, goes to first confession, and it's a great story. So stay tuned for part 3 to hear some of the great old tales of Ireland.
Where are you coming from with the music?
I want to say a lot about you, and that's your full of glory. I tell you where I'm coming from. I think if most of you know this, I come from County Cork. He's always going on about this. I come from the Beara Peninsula. I was born and reared there. My parents immigrated to the United States in the 20s.
In the middle of about 2'6", waving a flag. Who was the mancy that gave us the words of a song that we're looking for the past 2,000 years? And they invited the hunchback into the fairy fort. Now there's one piece of advice I'll give you before I go a step further. If you ever have the good fortune or the misfortune to be invited into a fairy fort, always refuse the first drink. Take everything after that. And that's what the hunchback did. And when he refused the first drink, the king of the fairies looked down from his throne and he said, "Seeing that you won't take a drink, can we do anything at all for you?" "Oh God, you can," he says. "Will somebody take that misfortune of a hump off my back? It's my crucifixion since the day I was born." You're not going to believe what happened. 20 fairies gathered round him, and while you'll be clicking your fingers, they'll remove the hunch off his back. Better than any surgeon would do today. Put it over in the corner, threw a bag over it, and that hunchback woke outside the fort in the morning. And for the first time in his life, he's able to straighten his back.
We had a wonderful evening of storytelling and Irish music. Stay tuned because I'm going to make another whole 10-minute video just on Bat's story of the first confession. You'll love it. Stay tuned.